All right, guys, we got a good show for you today. We have Logan Barnes. He goes to St. Peter's Prep. He has offers from Temple, Massachusetts. Thanks for coming on, man.
No problem. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, so I'm interested. We everyone's got a little bit different journey, but for you, how did you get into football yourself?
Well, it started in New York. I live in Staten Island, New York, even though I go to school in Jersey. So my father and my uncle, they started Staten Island Hurricanes. So Staten Island Hurricanes been going on like this is 20th year coming up. So basically, once they started that, they started up for the community, keep kids out of trouble. So I just trickled into it. Been playing since I was 4, just about. So it's been a long journey so far. So
Yeah, no, it's funny. My friend, he lives in Staten Island. I'm going to school on the border of New Jersey, and I've been to Staten Island a lot, so I know right where you're kind of talking about. So, growing up for you, did you play any other sports? Or has it always just been football?
I'm not. I loved basketball first. I was definitely a basketball kid until 7th, 8th grade. Um, I kind of gravitated towards football. I began to love the game more and more, and I just knew like I could go somewhere with the football. So I kind of just took off with that.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. So, you kind of alluded to it, but who do you think's been like the most influential person so far in your career for you?
Um, Definitely my father. Um, he played football. He was in high school. He basically told me everything like I know now. When it comes to football, he put the football in my hands since birth. So I would definitely say it was him.
Yeah. So, when you had to make that decision, you talked about you're in the Staten Island area, right? Around you, there are tons of prep schools, very good teams. What made like St. Peter's Prep, a place you wanted to play football and go to?
Um, well, especially coming for COVID year, it was definitely tough for me. Definitely tough for me. Cause I was in Curtis High School my freshman year. It's a family school. I loved it there. Everybody I knew go there. Everybody I grew up with play there. But I knew the COVID year. I couldn't lose the year of football. So I visited a couple schools, and St. Peter's really just stood out to me with the diversity, mostly the school. Like you see kids from everywhere go there, different ethnicities, races,
Hmm.
everything. And basically, I just knew like once I get to St. Peter's, the connections I was gonna make, not only in football but later in life, it was gonna last me a lifetime. So luckily it
No,
did.
that's awesome. I like how you made that decision. That sounds like you're very smart, and a lot of people don't sometimes look at all those factors. So I have to talk about because like a lot of guys, help out. We were like 20, 21s, and it was very hard for recruiting because we couldn't, visit the schools. You did a lot of virtual right before you committed,
Yeah.
and you talked about being at 23 and going to a prep school to help with your recruiting. So when how has that been going for you lately? I know it's very hard. Things are starting to pick back up. But how's it going?
Recruiting's been going. It's all right. It's definitely picking back up. I definitely was worried a little bit. Coming in, going into my sophomore year. I know I was young, but I definitely felt like I was capable of picking up early offers. But it's started up slow. But it's definitely rolling. The tables are turning now. So
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Things, everyone's journey is different. It happens for a reason. So, you talked about last season. So, how do you think last season, went for you as a player and as a team? And then what are you working on, now in the off season, to have a better, better season this year?
um, last season definitely was a humbling season for me. I guess you could say. I learned a lot. Coming into Jersey, competition's different. Going against some of the top guys in the country. Um, it it definitely taught me a lot about myself. I guess you could say. Um, I had to really it really told me how to learn the game and how to love it and how to just stick with it. But I definitely had a decent sophomore season. I, not not what I expected, but I definitely had a good type of year. Team success, we ain't really have a state championship. So it was definitely it was just I guess for me it was just a building blocks. So yeah, we get most of the guys back this year, so we're just building on that, trying to get ready to get to MetLife this year. That's definitely the goal.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, you alluded to it a bit. So you guys, I look at your schedule. It's a very tough schedule. You're all over the place. What are the expectations for this season, and everything?
Um, I guess the biggest expectation is always to make it to MetLife. But with that, we lost a lot of pieces. But we're still gonna be really good, in my opinion. I still think we got the guys that are capable to definitely get us to MetLife. I feel like we have enough talent. Coaching is great, and as long as we just do what we got to do, I feel like we're definitely gonna get there.
Yeah. Um, I kind of talked about it a little bit, but now I want to get back into it a little bit more. So I saw this summer, you went to a bunch of camps, and different, and then I was gonna ask, are you visiting any schools soon, or planning on anything, or is that kind of waiting until after the season for you? But
Right now, I'm waiting until after the season. I'm kind of I'm locking into the season. I'm full head of steam on my team, and
yeah,
whatever whatever happens after that happens, and I'll be blessed for it. So
yeah. Um, this one's always a funny one. We always like to ask this because everyone's got a little funny story, or not. Your first offer, where were you at? What were you doing?
my first offer, I was in it was Saturday workouts. Um, early in the morning, it was a killer. We was in a weight
Yeah,
room. Our recruiting coordinator pulls me over to the side. He goes, somebody has to call you. So I'm not thinking nothing big of it.
yeah,
Just going with the flow. And then he FaceTimes his coach and his coach Afonte up at Temple. And at first I didn't really know who he was because he was just talking.
yeah.
And then he eventually introduced himself. I'm the coach at Temple, and he was like, we really like everything that you bring to the table. We like what you do, and we just want to offer you. And I just felt like for me that was just like real big, you know. It just finally felt like all the hard work paid off. That the hard work is paying off. And it just felt like just like my dreams turned into reality, you know.
Yeah.
I wasn't when I woke up that Saturday, I wasn't expecting nothing of it. I thought it was gonna be a regular
Yeah.
Saturday going into workouts. But it definitely a day I'll never forget for sure.
Yeah. It happens at the least expected time. That's what we always
Mm,
say. So we always
Yeah,
ask someone, man.
yeah.
Okay. So, I wanted to, ask you over the course of your whole career, what's been your favorite high school memory so far?
Um, favorite high school memory, definitely my freshman year. Um, playing at Rutgers. It was my first high school game. I think it's Rumble de Retier. It was definitely just a big like experience for me, just to one to be playing in front of a lot of people, and two being playing at Rutgers. I didn't know what the atmosphere was like until then, but it was definitely my favorite. So.
Nah. All right. So, this one, what do you think's the best play you've ever made? Some people talk about, it's just a game, they were playing when they were a kid, or it could be, high school. What do you think's your best play?
My best play is I want to say my eighth grade year playing on the Brick City Lions, playing against Bergen Stars. It was a close game. I made like a really big hit, so I don't know if you get that play. So
Yeah.
probably big so far.
Yeah, no, for sure. Before I ever ask people to come on, I look at like, huddles, and I kind of, look at them, and, you were one of the players that stuck out for me, and I was, surprised about everything, not seeing a little bit more love on this. But how would you describe your game to someone's never seen you play?
If I had to describe it, I'd definitely say again a twitchy and explosive player. I feel like for my size, I definitely feel like I'm explosive. Um, I'm just mean. I like to get down and dirty. I like to on defense. You gotta love hitting people. I love the contact. I love all of it. So
Yeah, no, for sure. So growing up, did you look up to any, current or former players, or, and everything?
um yeah, I definitely looked up to I definitely looked up to my brother. My older brother Quincy Barnes. He's at Wagner College right now. Competing for the starting quarterback spot. Um I definitely looked up to him. The early success he had. Um Even though I kind of joke around about him about like, well, I'm not gonna be like I don't want to be like you, but I definitely wanted to follow in his success and footsteps for sure. He always just he always just showed me like how to be great. So I
Mhm.
always wanted to say, all right, I don't want to do it like you, but I want to be great just like you. So
Yeah. So, it's awesome you had someone, to look up to and, it's doing it still. I imagine, between your dad and, your brother, we always ask this question, so I kind of lead into it well. What's the best piece of advice you ever heard to this point?
um, stay true to yourself. You're gonna meet a lot of people. You're gonna go a lot of places. You're gonna do a lot of different things. But if you're not staying true to yourself, what's the point of doing it? So that's what my brother always told me. People are gonna try to deter you from being who you are, getting out of character, do things that are gonna make you upset. But as long as you stay who you are, stay true to yourself, everything's gonna work out for itself.
No, yeah, it's for sure. I agree with that a lot. We always do that one because, a lot of kids are told, what they can and can't do by a lot of people. And, we always try to take away, some advice for people every time on the show. The final question, we always ask it. It's probably the hardest one. So when your football career is over down the line, how do you want people to remember yourself?
That's a tough one. I want people to remember me as a game changer. I want people to think back and say, "Yo, Logan Barnes, that guy was a dude. That guy was for real. He was nice. He was the real deal." And I just want people to think back and say, you know, he impacted the game a lot. He did a lot for the game, and he just changed the game in entirety. So that's what I really want. My biggest impact to be.
Yeah. Well, Logan, I gotta do a quick shout out to Steven, Staten Island dude, right here with Logan. Logan, I appreciate you coming on, man. It means a lot. Thanks for coming on, man.
I appreciate you having me. Thank you so much.